Since a lot of heavily invested in skins have been dipping in price in just the past few days, I'm going to be talking about whether or not this correlates with the Steam summer sale, and why I think personally I'm going to be stocking up on skins more during this time. So if you enjoyed this video and you're new to the channel and want to learn more about CSGO investing, be sure to subscribe to the channel. And just before we get into it, let's talk about our sponsor, Tradeit, the best trading site out there to get the full price for your skins. They have a stacked inventory with anything that you're looking for and prices much better than competitors. Like for example, look at my butterfly knife on a competitor's site, only $385, while on Tradeit I can get it for $414. Also, if you click that link at the top of the description or in the pinned comment, if you're a first time user you get a 50-cent bonus on a trade of $10 or more. So easy money and a great way to get new skins for the best prices out there, so be sure to check out tradeit.gg today. But for now, let's get right into the video. So what's with this huge dip in price in not only high tier skins, but normal operation skins that were doing so well just a few days ago? Like the MP9 Wild Lily, a skin from one of the Shattered Web collections that doubled in price in just a few weeks time. And now we're seeing a huge pullback in price. Are we gonna see these items that were doing so well just a short while ago go back to the prices they were at previously? Well, let's start with the Glock Fade. If we look at its all-time trend, specifically the late June to early July period time last year, we saw a really similar trend to what's happening now. We saw a pretty solid spike up in price this year at the same exact time period. It dipped back down, flattened out for a bit, and started picking back up in March of this year. And if I'm basing my price prediction off last year's trend plus a trend that would make sense in a normal market, it seems like not only the Glock Fade, but skins like the MP9 Wild Lily, Prince, Gungnir, pretty much all the operation skins and older stickers are gonna have this correction in price since they've all spiked up so much recently. So if you're holding these for a long time, it's not necessarily something to worry about since it is just a correction. It's not like skins can keep going straight up and maintain that trend. A dip like this is completely healthy in the market, and I don't think it's going to be some horrible market breaking dip. But at the same time, I do think we're going to see it end a solid margin above where the skins were flattened out before the dip began. Like once again, if we look at the Glock Fade trend, last time it went through a huge spike and dip like this, it ended up much higher than it was before the spike started. It was around the $700 range on the Steam market before the spike started, peaked somewhere around the $1,300 to $1,400 range, about 2 times what it was initially at, and then ended up around $1,000 after it settled down. So for something like the Glock Fade, since it peaked at around $1,800 on the Steam market this time around, I think seeing it flatten around $1,400 to $1,500 this time around would be a pretty fair estimate. But it could be a bit lower, maybe like $1,300 to $1,450, something like that, but I do think it will be somewhere around that range and won't dip back to the $1,000 that it was at before the spike began. So why does this happen around this time of the year? Is it correlated to the Steam summer sale? Well, I've actually talked about the spike from last year before, and from everything I've seen and read, it genuinely seems like it's just market hype. So unfortunately, I don't really have a great answer as to why it happens, but the last 2 years now, it has happened. But this time around, I don't think we're going to be seeing as big of a crash. Last year, the spike in price was a lot sharper for a lot of items. For example, the ESL 1 Cologne 2014 Challengers capsule went from $30 to $120 off the late June to early July spike. The spike really happened quickly, like within a week or two's time. So it died down really quickly as well compared to this time around where it's lasting a bit longer. You can literally just look at this graph and see that rather than the spike happening across a span of a few days like the first one did last year, the surge in price has started to flatten out and has been ongoing for around a month now. Well, last time this happened, the biggest peak happened in just around a week and a half to 2 weeks time. So I think this shows that there's much more people in the market right now than there really ever has been, and that the market is in a much better place and not just completely driven by hype. Another more notable spike that was happening last year the same time was the gold web foils. They had a pretty similar spike percentage wise that the sticker capsules 2 had recently. Like, people are just starting to realize how much these collector's items are really worth, since we're not seeing items go up like 100% in a day and then crashing 50% the next few days in like 99% of the cases nowadays. The only thing I would exclude from that is the sticker 2 capsule, because the hype in the market that got behind that thing was absolutely insane, and you rarely see anything like that now in the CS market compared to something like a year ago or before that. So why do I think now is a good time to buy? Well, if we're coming to the end of a noticeably huge spike in price, waiting until things seem to completely flatten out is always a good time to get in my eyes. Because if you've been waiting for an opportunity, we're getting close to the perfect time to buy once everything is flattened out. Which I would probably give it at least a week and a half to 2 weeks time to look at it then, because I still think a lot of these skins can have a bit more room to drop down a bit. It's perfectly a safe time to buy in my eyes once that comes around, and I think I'm going to end up scooping some older operation skins based off that. Maybe something like the Emerald Eagle. This thing went from like $440 on the Steam market early in the month to now sitting at only around $250. So if I find a good deal or this thing dies down like 10-20 bucks more, I'm definitely going to be picking one up if I could find a good deal on a third-party site. But as per usual, all of this is just my own opinion when it comes to CSGO investing, of course backed by research and any information I can find on the subject. I've been dealing with the CSGO market for over 5 years now, own tens of thousands of dollars of skins, and will always give advice that I definitely would follow myself, but there is of course always a risk involved as it is an investment, so always keep that in mind. But besides all that, I think that does pretty much wrap it up for this video. So as per usual, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed and want to see more CSGO investing type videos, as this is the best spot to get information on CSGO investing. And of course, check out the homies over at traded.gg if you want to find some sick deals on trades and pick up some new skins. Link in the pinned comment and in the description. But for now, that's gonna wrap everything up, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.